You are on Thrive Network. I'm Susana Kennedy, and we are with the amazing Sharni Quinn. She is an incredible coach and facilitator to reshape your life. And that's how I really see you. It's about reshaping your life, redesigning your life to fit in with the type of life you want to live.
It's about bringing more yin to your yang. It's not about being totally yin and just, not doing anything. It's more about just how can you do things differently so it's not always about just pushing and the striving the whole time. Life's challenging, so we're not going to be feeling rested all the time. But in general, living a life that's much more calm and balanced is what we're looking for. Waking up to living your best life and living this life that you're meant to be living and living a life that's on purpose. So you actually, what am I here for? Asking those bigger questions. Why am I actually here on earth?
We're going to be talking about living yinli and what that actually means. Living a balanced life, a life that you love, that it is actually in balance and you're not overworking yourself and not stressing yourself out. And Sharni is going to be taking us through the steps of what that means to actually live yinli. Good morning, everybody. I'm Susana Kennedy, and you are with the Thrive Network. I am so excited to be here today because I have somebody super special with me. Sharni Quinn is tuning in. She is South African, but she's tuning in all the way from Bali to be with us today. And she is a living example of what it means to live a balanced life, something I'm still working on. So welcome, Sharni. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Susana. No, doing so well. And obviously, the weather here in Bali, it's also winter, but very different to what you guys are experiencing back home in South Africa. So really enjoying a little bit of the Bali vibes and the Bali bliss, which always, when the sun comes out, always makes me feel a bit happier. So yeah, life's really good.
Absolutely. I must say the winter has been the best winter I've ever had in Cape Town. I was feeling really like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm going to be in winter, because I always try and escape winter. I don't know who else is like that. For all of the listeners watching right now, let me know. We're going to be talking about living yinli and what that actually means. Living a balanced life, a life that you love, that it is actually in balance and you're not overworking yourself and not stressing yourself out. And Sharni is going to be taking us through the steps of what that means to actually live yinli, which I love that, live yinli. Let me know where in the world you guys are tuning in from. I love to see where our global community tunes in from. So let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I know that we get people from Australia, from the Netherlands, from all over Europe, India, all over South Africa, Bali. So please let me know. I love welcoming our international community. I see that our connection has gone live now on Facebook as well. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. So we are live now, and I think Sharni's managed to share. Are you all good there?
Getting there. I think it's just a little bit of a slow connection because it's only coming up live on my side from Facebook. But
I see Desree's here, Leon, Yogi, Romana, Mikey, Srajan. Am I saying your name right? Srajan? Please let me know if I am saying your name right. Jacqueline, Nura, Sandy, B Super, Bipu. Cool name. So many people. If I don't get to say hello to all of you, I really apologize. I'm so happy to have you with us here today. I was connected with Sharni a couple of months ago, and we tried so hard to get together and we didn't manage to. And just as she left, we managed to speak on the phone and we were like, we wish we had met in person, because her ethos is just so beautiful, guys. It really, really is so, so beautiful. And her life's work is all about helping others live yinli. So I think that's where we need to start, Sharni, is by just sharing, what does that mean to live yinli?
Well, Susana, yeah, it's quite a an interesting concept, and it's a concept that I have been creating for, over the last, I say 20 years. And so it's my combination of my professional and personal experience. And I've been in the wellness industry for about 13 years now. And before that, I was in advertising. So life was, busy and rushed and full, and it was amazing, but it was at a very, very fast pace, and it was very much that yang expression of life. So it was achieving, it was doing, it was striving, it was being very busy. And so what happened to me was that I ended up burning out, and I went through a whole experience about 2 years ago of dealing with chronic fatigue and hypothyroidism and all sorts of things that doctors couldn't diagnose, and they didn't know what was wrong, and thought I must just go on to some tablets or depression pills and medication. And I was like, I know what the problem is. It's not that I'm depressed, it's that I'm just exhausted and I'm so stressed and I just need a break. And it was quite funny because everyone's saying it's so ironic. I was, a wellness professional and I'm burning out. Surely because I'm doing yoga and everything, I should be fine. And I said, but I was doing all of that. I was doing my daily practice. I was doing so much. And that was the thing. I was doing that plus running, 3 wellness companies at the same time. So I was just enjoying, and I loved what I did. I was making such a difference in the world. I loved my clients, but I was just doing too much. And so for me, my own personal experience was then going, okay, I need to redesign my life. I need to do things very, very differently. And so I sold my business. I packed up my life. I decided to live in Bali permanently. And now my life is on more of a yin kind of cycle where it's much more slow, it's much more calm, it's much more gentle. And obviously even just being here in this space is very calming as well, and not living a city life. So yeah, I just knew I had to do that for my own health and well-being. Otherwise, I don't know where I would have landed up. So yeah, living yinly is about bringing more yin to your yang. It's not about being totally yin and just, not doing anything. It's more about just how can you do things differently. So it's not always about this pushing and the striving the whole time.
So I love that you are talking about this because I am a coach. I am somebody who facilitates change for so many people. And I've now, during this lockdown, felt like I'm nearing burnout twice, just because I feel like I've been giving so much. And I know that you've got amazing reboot camps, which I do want to talk about. But I want to know, everybody else out there watching, tell me where you guys are at. Do you understand that concept of wanting to help others, but actually feeling like you are nearing burnout? Let me know where you guys are at. Are you feeling like you are in balance, or are you feeling like you are needing to shift things in your life into a space where there is more balance and you have free time? Because for me, free time, that's like a foreign concept to most people. And I think that's why people freaked out, Sharni, when this lockdown happened, because they didn't understand what to suddenly do with free time. If you're a recovering workaholic like me, then you know exactly what to do with free time. You know exactly how to fill it. But for people who don't, they were suddenly faced with themselves. And that was a whole process on its own. So let me know where you guys are at. I'm getting a lot of waves and thumbs up. Does that mean that you have burnt out before, or you are nearing burnout? Let us know. And
I think it's also an interesting concept, like burnout. What is that? Because it's not there's so many various symptoms. And as I said, it's not something that doctors just can take a blood test and say, oh, okay, now you burnt out. So often it's all stress related. And I mean, we're dealing with so much stress nowadays, and it's not just physical, but it's mental and emotional, as well. And so, I actually went through a major burnout 10 years ago, where that was more due to going through my divorce. It was more of an emotional burnout. And whereas now the previous burnout 2 years ago was more a physical and mental burnout, from doing too much. So it's really can be a combination of things. And so we can feel tired and exhausted. And we're not saying that, you have to, life's challenging. So we're not going to be feeling rested all the time. But in general, living a life that's much more calm and balanced is what we're looking for. And I feel like just society is very much, it's too yang. So we need to just bring in that little element of yin, of gentleness, of calmness, it's more that very much that feminine energy, and it's balance of sun and moon, and yin and yang is a balance of opposites. So, it's balance of masculine and feminine, balance of the day and the night and the sun and the moon. And if you look at nature as an example, it's a balance. It's not one or the other. And it's just that society before COVID happened was very much all yang. And now what's happened this year is that we've been forced to slow down. And as you were saying, people that haven't really focused on that before didn't really know what to do with themselves. And it can be a very scary place where all of a sudden you've got space and you've got peace and quiet, because then a lot of stuff comes up, and then you've got to really face your realities and you can reflect on life. And often people don't have the time to do that, and they just plow through and, work hard, play hard, never have time to actually contemplate what's going on in their lives.
It's so true. If you guys have just tuned in, because I see there's a lot of newcomers, you are on Thrive Network. I'm Susana Kennedy, and we are with the amazing Sharni Quinn. She is an incredible coach and facilitator to reshape your life. And that's how I really see you. It's about reshaping your life, redesigning your life to fit in with the type of life you want to live. Because everybody's got a different version of what their life looks like, but it's about figuring out what kind of life you want to live and then designing your life for that life. We all have beautiful wheels as coaches, with our different sections. And I saw in the first day of your course, you also had your wheel. I've also got my wheel of life, and I love them. They're so great. I know you are going to be launching a 3-day program in August, and it's going to be absolutely free. Tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect from it.
Yeah, well, it's a 3-day challenge, and I have a whole life transformation program which covers many different elements. And there's, the self-study version and the coaching version and the group program version. But I wanted to do this challenge because I thought I really want to be able to give back, and it's not just about charging people all the time, be able to give a free offering that people can sign up to and then learn as much as possible, in those 3 days. And so it's about a half an hour, an hour every day over 3 days. And it's called the Transforming from Being Trapped to Feeling Free. And that's what the challenge is all about. And I just felt like it's a very, very kind of poignant subject at the moment, especially everyone in South Africa. I just feel like you guys have had so many parameters to now be living in, and it's really taking a toll on a lot of people's mental and emotional health and physical health. So, I wanted to just be able to see how I can support everybody, and not only in South Africa, but worldwide, and going, okay, well, it's all wonderful that we've had this time and to slow down and reflect, but now what do we do with that? And how can you take the positives out of what's happened, during this year, and then go, okay, well, let's move forward in a way that's progressive and that's balanced, and still keep this slow pace, but in a positive way and in a constructive way, even when the world opens up and gets busy again. So the challenge is really to support people on breaking those boundaries and breaking those, the fear around, like, I feel trapped and I feel like I'm being controlled and I don't know what to do next. And so just really being able to support them and saying, look, there's ways of creating more freedom in your life. And one of the things that I'm so passionate about is really, sharing with the world how to create more joy and balance and freedom. So this is just one challenge where I can be like, okay, let's give everyone some tools and some, techniques on how they can do that. And not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well. So we'll be looking at all of that over the 3 days.
I think that it's absolutely needed. Right now I can feel in South Africa, all of us are empaths, by the way, guys. So when I say I'm an empath, it's just, I feel things very strongly. Some of us feel them a little bit milder, and we don't actually connect to the fact that we are tuning into the collective energy that surrounds us. We might just start feeling irritated or frustrated or sad or something, and we don't know where that feeling is coming from. And often it's just actually that our bodies are tuning into the collective energy around us. I'm very in tune with that, and I'm very sensitive to it. And I must say, the last 2 weeks have been the most difficult, Sharni, in South Africa. There has been, and let me know how you guys are feeling out there, actually, everybody that is just tuning in now. How are you feeling right now? Are you feeling a bit challenged? You can just say challenged in the comments below, or are you feeling balanced? So just give me challenged or balanced so that we get an indication of where people are. I would love to know whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching a recording of this. I love to see the feedback and come back to it. So let me know in the comments below. But I've felt the challenged energy intensify. It obviously has been here since the beginning of lockdown, but specifically over the past, I think, sort of 2 weeks, it's gotten like really intense. And people are scared and they're feeling like they're not sure where things are going to go. I mean, I had a challenging situation. I've got a childhood friend who is coming to Cape Town. Now, I am the type of person whose doors are just always open, you know? So it's like, of course, anybody can come, you know, to me. That's what I'm like normally. But she's coming from a different place. She's been seeing a few friends. She is coming out to catch up with friends. So she's going to be seeing a few friends. And the reality is that my immune system is okay, but I don't have a strong immune system. And I've got, I don't have strong lungs. I'm asthmatic. And so although my subconscious and myself knows that if I had to get COVID, I would be okay, like I would live through it, there is something in me that really wants to avoid getting it as much as possible, because I think that it will be a hell of a challenge for me versus some people are very asymptomatic, you know. But these are the kind of things that we are now being faced with, like separating ourselves from loved ones. And simply even that for me is a massive kind of like heaviness, you know, that we are going through. And I know there's been another surge of the COVID. And so more people are kind of going, okay, I was kind of just getting on with my life, but now I'm stepping back a little bit again. So I see challenged fluctuates from being challenged to feeling a little bit more balanced. Challenged. I agree, Susana. It's been challenging. Yeah, I get it. And the reason why I bring you guys Thrive is to assist you into finding that life, finding that little bit more of balance. So, Sharni, before I let you go, I would love to share maybe just 1 or 2 tips that you could give people right now to just help them get back into a feeling of balanced and into that yin-li centered self.
I'd love to actually share the 4 strategies that my yin teacher shared with me, which was so profound. And it was so beautiful because when he shared them, they were so aligned with what I was already living and believing in anyway. And so it was just such a beautiful synchronicity. But I love how simple he made it. And it's his mantra. And it really stuck with me. And it's what I also, live by as well. And so there are 4 steps. And the first one is slow down. Mm-hmm. The next one is tune in, then let go, and then the 4th one is wake up. And for me, it's so profound because when we are living such a busy life, we're so unconscious. So we don't actually know what's working for us and what's not working for us in our lives. And I mean, I've just seen that with so many of my private coaching clients and my corporate coaching clients, where we're just always busy and don't have time to reflect on what's working and what's not. So slowing down is a beautiful time to really be able to go, okay, and let's look at my life and am I happy? And so slowing down is the first step. Then the next step is tuning in. And that's all about, that's where the yoga comes in as well. Yoga meditation is about really tuning into how does my body feel, and how does my emotions, how am I feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and just really connecting to yourself and really being honest and truthful. And that can be a very scary space sometimes, because often we don't want to be honest with ourselves. It's much easier to put on this smiley face and this mask and to say, oh no, everything's fine. But then feeling that niggle inside and then living with that all the time ends up becoming, that's why I feel that's where disease comes from, because it is just disease that we're feeling in our body. So from a health perspective, often that's when our body is telling us, okay, it's time to shift whatever's going on in our lives. And so tuning in is really going, okay, well, what's serving me and what's not? And then letting go is about letting go of those things that aren't serving us. And that can be such a scary experience, because we're so used to hanging on to things, even though they might not be working for us. It's just something that we're used to and we're comfortable with. So the letting go process it's so necessary, though, because it's like spring cleaning. You spring clean your body, your mind, and your soul and your emotions, and you now have space to open up to these amazing new experiences. And that's what waking up is all about. So wake up is about waking up to living your best life and living this life that you're meant to be living, and living a life that's on purpose. So you actually, what am I here for? Asking those bigger questions. Why am I actually here on earth? And, for this particular reason in this lifetime. And, what can I share? What can I give back? And so it ends up being a much bigger perspective and a much bigger view of our lives, rather than just getting caught up in the little day-to-dayness of it and going, okay, taking a step back and going, okay, well, why, asking all those questions, why and what and how. And so for me, it's always about, I just feel like those are really good 4 simple steps that we can all do in our daily life, of just slowing down, reflecting, whatever's not working for us, let it go, and then really waking up and tuning in and just getting back into flow. Because then you are so supported, by the universe, and life unfolds in such beautiful ways. And I feel like I've tested that over so many years of like, universe, are you actually going to support me? And it always does. When I'm out of alignment and when I'm out of flow, then, you get like this little nudge, and then you get a little bit of a tap on the shoulder, and then you get a slap through the face, and then you get, run over by a bus. And often I was always waiting until I was run over by the bus to actually make changes in my life. Now I've learned there's like that little niggle of anxiety. I'm like, okay, something's going to shift and change. And what tools can I use to do that? So I just feel like those are really nice strategies just to look at in these times. And I really encourage everybody to sign up for my free challenge, because I'm going to be going into much more detail and really talking about the concept of living yinly and how you can transform all areas of your life. So from your lifestyle habits, your health, your work, your relationships, your attracting and manifesting abundance. And what an amazing time to be able to do this. We've literally been gifted, it's going to be pretty much gifted a year to really focus on like, oh, okay, this isn't working for me. So let's either change that or adapt it or let it go and do something new. And, maybe you want to change jobs. Maybe you want to move countries. Maybe there's something that you've been wanting to always do and never had the time for. So, this is, I'm going to have so much value that I can share with everyone in that challenge. So I really just want to support everyone to shift that mindset and not feel so trapped, even though you might not be able to leave your house, or, you can't enjoy a glass of wine and you feel like you're out of control, or you're being controlled in that situation. It's like, how can you shift your mindset so that it actually doesn't matter what's going on around you? And this is such a yogic term or yogic concept. It's not about what's happening around you. It's about really getting centered and connected with yourself. And when you're feeling connected, you can be anywhere. Think of all these guys that are meditating on mountaintops for months on end. They're not stressed out because they can't leave their cave or go and have a beer. So, there's ways of looking at things, and I just want to support everyone on this journey.
It's absolutely, no, I absolutely love what you're saying, because it echoes what we stand for at Thrive so much, like so beautifully. I'm always saying to everyone, start with yourself, look inside, start with yourself, and then everything else will shift outside. I think something else that you really touched on there that was important is, so many people are feeling stuck where they are. Surrender. That's one of the things, which is very challenging for a lot of people. I know that I'm also like in this really strange place of not knowing where I'm going next and what's going to happen next. You know, my boyfriend is British, and we don't know what's happening with visas and all of these things. So it is kind of this place of like, oh, I don't know where I'm going, how long I'll be here. And it's about just letting go of that control and just being in the moment, living right now in the moment, and realizing that right now in this moment, you are okay. Things are okay. Just slow down to that point. And I love that you said, slow down, tune in, let go, and wake up. And I think that if all of us could just take a few minutes every day to do that, just for ourselves, just a few minutes every day, slow down, tune in, let go, and wake up. Can you imagine the difference in a week, guys? I can see Patty is going, I've signed up because I sent out an email with the link for your course this morning to all my Thrive members. So signed up, relate. Debbie says relate. I've signed up. So that's awesome. Great. So people's Patty is saying spot on. Suraj is saying brilliant session. Awareness to shift. Letting go is the hardest because we are so materialistic. But I think it's not only because I don't associate it with being materialistic. It's that, you know, we find comfort in control. Suraj, it's that, you know, the familiar gives us comfort. It's when things are unknown that it can be quite scary. And one of the key things really is to get comfortable in the discomfort, which sounds like a contradiction, and it is quite a challenging thing to do. But it is something important. It is 1 minute past 11. Guys, what happens at 11 o'clock every morning? We howl 3 times to raise the energy and vibration. And we say, thank you, more please, because gratitude is the quickest way to bring towards you more of what you want. And Sharni, thank you for sharing your lovely energy today. Are you ready? You're going to howl with me, aren't you? I know
I'm in this coffee shop. I'm going to howl as loud as possible. So yes.
Yay, because she's a wild woman with me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. More, please. So the interesting thing, and this is something I also want you guys to keep in mind, because I can see that a lot of people have said, yes, they were challenged, is that one of the things I want you guys to remember, and I have said this many times throughout our talks and our conversations with different amazing teachers, healers, coaches from around the world, is that you don't have to live in the discomfort. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Greet that feeling with kindness, respect, compassion. Allow yourself to feel it and let it go, guys. Don't allow yourself to become that feeling. Don't allow that feeling to take over, because we are living in a challenging time. And so we are going to be challenged more often than we previously were. And that's okay. Don't build a campsite. In fact, campsite is too impermanent. Rather build a campsite that you're going to take down like in a couple of minutes or an hour or whatever. Don't build a house. No bricks, guys. No concrete. Don't live there. Move. Allow yourself to feel, honor that feeling, because it's come up for a reason. A lot of them are coming up for healing as well. So take note, but allow it to release. So, Sharni, thank you so much. I'm so excited. Do you have the dates yet for your upcoming course?
Yes, it's going to be the 11th, 12th. I think it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I think it's 11th, 12th, and 13th of August. So, we've got, I think it's just over 3 weeks. And along the way, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of videos on Facebook and Instagram and things as well, and just talking about what, a little bit more detail of what's going to be in the challenge. So, and I know you've just done started one of my previous challenges, Susana. And so there's going to be worksheets, and there's going to be so much value that I can share. And I think, like you were saying, it's just, you and I have both been through a lot of these experiences personally. So for me, it just makes it even more, I'm even more passionate about sharing this information because, you know, I've done my own self-isolation, which I did 2 years ago. And so I know what everyone's going through now. And, you know, it's amazing that I'm in a place where there is a lot more freedom and I can go and learn to surf, which I did last week. And, you know, like all these kind of things that are just amazing. And everyone's like, oh, you're living this amazing life. And it's true. But the thing is, I've gone through that darkness and I've worked at, you know, how do I then get back into the light? And so it's time to be able to share that with others now. And one thing I just wanted to say, Susana, what you were talking about is that the whole surrender thing is so important because we actually are not in control really of, well, we're not in control of anything outside of us. And so as soon as you can let that go and set an intention of what it is that you want to create. And today is the perfect time to do it because it's new moon. So it's new moon in Cancer. So it's very much about self-care as well and nurturing ourselves and others. So set an intention for the next 30 days of what it is that you want to create in your life. And then you let it go. Then you have like, okay, I don't have any control over that. Now let's see how it all unfolds. And it's amazing because life can actually be even better than what you imagined or even better than how you're trying to control it. So, you know, let us just surrender to the situation and see what unfolds. You know, I mean, we might be looking back at this 10 years time and going, I wish I had some time off to rest and reflect like I did in 2020. So yeah, it's a way of also shifting our perspective and looking at what are the gifts and what are the positives out of the situation rather than always just being stuck in fear and building that house in that space, like you were saying, Susana. So yeah, you know, let the waters wash through and wash it away and start over again and don't get too attached to the outcomes and just enjoy every single day for what it is.
Yeah, I think that, you know, what you say is so important because so many people are write out their vision and they like to, but they're so attached to it. Guys, first of all, every possibility already exists. So your most beautiful possibility already exists. It already exists. It's just about you energetically tapping into that possibility with joy, with a sense of joy. And I think that that's one of the things that so many people get wrong. They tap in with a sense of desperation. Or a sense of disbelief that that can be true for them. And that's what holds it away, because the minute we have that energy, it just repels it. But the minute you tap into it with joy and just release, it flies right in. I challenge you all. I actually challenge all of you. Today is new moon. It's a wonderful time to do this. Take some time, slow down, tune in, let go. And wake up. I love it. Thank you so much, Sharni Quinn, for tuning in today and sharing your lovely energy, your knowledge, your love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Susana. And I love what you're doing with Thrive, and it's amazing. And I'm so excited to be part of it. So yeah, very, very grateful. And wishing you guys, or wishing you, Susana, lots of love, and to everybody else that's in South Africa and all over the world. And yeah, just remember to slow down, tune in, let go, and wake up. And my whole philosophy is all about how can we stress less and live more. So no matter what situation you're in, how can you be living your best life? And yeah, look forward to sharing with you and connecting with you along the way.
Amazing. And for everybody that has tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in today. I absolutely love connecting with you guys in this way. We are going to run a competition with Sharni. She is going to give away something very special, which I almost forgot about, and I almost let you go. But actually, guys, competition time. Sharni, what are you giving away?
So I did a challenge last year, which was about transforming from burnout to bliss. And it was a 5-day challenge and just looking at various aspects of your life. So from exercise, from nutrition, from health, it was very much health related, and cyclical living, which is also so important, you know, like working with the moon energy and your own cycle as a woman, and, you know, not pushing ourselves so far and so much when it's not actually aligned with nature. So how can we be more in tune with nature as well? And so this whole challenge was, it was a really, really beautiful challenge. So this is now the recorded version of that, and I'm giving it away as a gift. It's now actually a paid mini course on one of my online courses. So yeah, so we're giving that away as a freebie and as a giveaway. And it's just it's a beautiful way of like, once again, jam-packed value and tools. I actually had one of the ladies who was on it, she contacted me last week and she goes, it was about a year ago I did that challenge and I got so much value out of it and I'm still drinking my lemon water in the morning. And she was just telling me like simple tools that I gave to her that were practical and made such a huge difference. So yeah, it was really great to get that feedback. So I'm very happy to share that with one of your Thrive members.
Amazing. So guys, that is what you can win. It's a 5-day challenge. I am busy doing that 5-day challenge, but I'm happy to start again and do it with one of you. I'm going to run this competition for a week. So next Tuesday, I will announce the winner. Here's how you enter. I would like you guys to follow and like Sharni Quinn on her social media platforms. And I would like you to share this video with your friends and your followers and tag 3 of your girlfriends or guy friends that would benefit from living yinly, from getting into balance. So for me, it's really about sharing the love. That is my biggest thing. So just share it. Tag 3 friends that would benefit from this information or from winning the course, and follow Sharni. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Sharni, thank you again. Much love, darling friend.
Thank you. Lots of love to you.
See you later. Bye.